everyone. So I got some new equipment today. I have a nice wireless headset, so I'm trying that for some higher sound quality so you can hear the music better as well without me like yelling at you. I feel like I've been yelling because the camera is a little bit far away from the mat so that you can see the whole frame of my body and the wall behind me. So hopefully this is even a notch up for you guys. So we're just going to do a nice yoga flow class today, just flowing with it, getting a little bit creative maybe with our movements, and just rest if you need to. I'm going to use props today, but if you want to have some blocks or a strap or blanket handy, they're always useful. You can always use blocks for sometimes even getting into things deeper, but sometimes for support. A blanket, definitely if you have sensitive knees, and some of our stretches. So let's get started. I'm going to sit on my feet. You could always sit in cross legs or however you're comfortable. But let's take the hands by the knees and just close the eyes. And let's take a moment to settle in. So just some deep breathing as you take inventory of what your body is doing. So what's going on? Where are you sore? Where are you tense? Where is your mind? Right? That's important. What's happening in there? And just noticing all of it without judgment. So it's not good, it's not bad, it just is what it is. Making every breath a little bit deeper. Exhales longer. In and out through the nose. And then letting that go, let's blink the eyes open. And just take the hands down behind you, again, in cross legs or sitting on the feet, either way. Press the chest up. Maybe the head drops back. And we'll release. Hands in front of you and rounding forward. Maybe the head comes towards the floor, maybe it doesn't. And coming back up, arms out to a T. Let's take a side stretch to the right. Left arm reaches over, turning the chest up. And then up and over to the other side. And coming back up, let's take a twist. So right hand down behind you, left arm comes over to the right knee. Get tall and look back. You're not leaning on the hand. You're trying to stay upright. So my arms are short, so sitting on my feet, only my fingertips barely touch the ground. And then look forward. We'll unwind and twist the other way. Stay tall, looking back. And then unwind. We'll come onto hands and knees for table. So your wrists should be right under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and we'll move through some cat and cow. So press into the hands, rounding, and tuck the chin. And then inhale, arching, and lift the chest. And just follow your breath, taking it back and forth. Noticing, again, where you maybe feel tight in your spine, and really putting a focus in the upper back in your cat and cow, your shoulder blades. And then coming back to neutral. Walk the hands maybe an inch or so forward, tucking the toes, and we'll come up for downward dog. So if you're tighter, maybe you need to bend the knees, but press the belly toward the thighs. Spread through the fingers. Try to tilt the tailbone up. And then look up, and let's take a walk up to the hands. And slowly let the arms dangle. We'll roll up to standing. Hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching up, look up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. Step back to plank. You can always drop the knees to modify. Lower. Inhale, press up to whichever back bend you choose. Watch the shoulders, they should be down. Tuck the toes. Exhale, back to downward dog and hold. Look up. Let's lunge the right foot through. We'll drop the back knee down for a low lunge, sweeping the arms up, sinking deep into the lunge. Your front knee should be relatively over the ankle, so you don't want to be back here. Take the hands back down, around the foot, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, step back to plank, lower through push-up. Back bend, exhale, downward dog. Look up, left leg will step through, drop the back knee down, sweep the arms up, low lunge. And take the hands back down, tuck the back toes, step back, plank, lower through push-up, inhale up, and exhale, downward dog and hold. Look up, bend the knees, walk or hop up to the hands. Let's get a grip this time somewhere on the legs, folding in for a deeper forward fold. Bend the knees if needed. And release, we'll roll up one vertebra at a time. Hands back to heart center. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back, plank. Lower through push-up. Inhale, up to your back bend. Exhale, downward dog. Let's lift the right leg up. Look up and step it through. Spin the back heel down. We'll rise up for warrior one. Arms reaching, lift the chest up. We're not going to stay here. Just one more inhale. And exhale, we'll come back down, step back, lower through push-up. Always skip these if you need to. Press up to your back bend. And back to downward dog. Hold. Let's lift the left leg up. Look up. Step it through. Spin the back heel down. Rise up, warrior one. Hips are squaring forward. Lift the chest. Inhale. And we'll take it right back down. Step back. Lower through push-up. Inhale to press up. Exhale. Downward dog and hold. Look up. Bend the knees, walk or hop up to the hands. We'll get a grip again on the legs, fold in. And slowly release, rolling back up. From here, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. One more round like we just did, except changing our warrior one to warrior two. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. Step back, plank, lower through push-up. Inhale, press up to your back bend. Exhale, downward dog. Lift the right leg up. Look up, step your foot through, or help it there if you need to. Spin the back heel down and windmill the arms up and around for your warrior two, sinking into it. And then we'll take it right back down, step back, plank, lower through push-up, inhale up, and exhale, downward dog. Look up, lift that left leg, and we'll step it through, spin the back heel down, coming up, warrior two, left side. And take it right back down, step back, plank, lower through push-up, inhale up, exhale, downward dog, and hold. So that's just our 3 salutations there, warming up the body. And now we'll get a little more creative with our sequencing. Look up, bend the knees, walk or hop up to the hands. And again, get a grip somewhere on the legs, fold in, shift the weight forward a bit. Let the arms dangle, we'll roll back up, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back, plank, lower through push-up. Inhale, press up to your back bend. Exhale, downward dog. Lift the right leg, look up, step the right foot through. Let's stay in a high lunge so the back heel is lifted. We'll rise up for high lunge, sinking into it. Let's interlace the fingers, pointer finger extended. Arms by the ears, but shoulders down. We'll add a little half moon side bend here, so bending over to the right. Reaching, use the right hand to pull the left arm a little more straight. Take the arms back maybe a little bit more. And then center. Inhale, get taller. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, center. Shift your weight forward for warrior three. Try to keep the arms by the ears and the hips square down. Bend the standing leg. Big step back to warrior one. So let the back heel spin down. We'll release, interlacing the hands behind the back. Maybe the head drops back, sink deeper into the lunge. Hips are still squaring forward. Inhale. And exhale, bringing the torso forward. Maybe you go a little bit, or maybe you go all the way inside. If your lunge is deep enough, maybe the head even touches the ground. Lift the hands up and away from you. And then release the hands down. Walk the hands out on a 45-degree angle. I call this warrior dog. So you have warrior two in the legs, but finding down dog in your back. So walk the hands as far as you can go without changing the weight shift in your feet. Stick your butt up and out, and then let the head come down between the arms. So one of my favorite poses is great feeling in the back, shoulders, and you're working the legs. Breathe. And start to walk the hands over to the left, so towards the back foot. And we're going to pivot into our God of War pose. So the left leg is bending and coming up to balance. So I'm not mirroring you in this sequence, but just follow as best you can with my directions of left and right. Pull the belly in. Trying to keep that balance. Also strengthening through our feet. Take the hands back down. Walk back around so you come into like a little squat as you're transitioning back. Turn the feet. Step back into plank. Lower through push-up. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward dog and hold. Lifting the left leg up, we'll look up. We'll stay in a high lunge. So, rise up. Arms by the ears, sink down lower, interlace the fingers, pointer fingers extended, shoulders down. We'll take a side bend to the left first. Use the left hand to maybe pull the right arm straighter, but yet the shoulders are down. And then come center, inhale, exhale, side stretching to the other side. Use your abs to help you with your balance. Pull the belly in. Keep sinking low in the legs. Back to center. And we'll release the hands. Spin the back heel down. Interlace the hands behind you and sink lower into your warrior. 1. And then start to bring the torso forward for your devoted warrior. Your hips are still squaring to the front. Try to get that left shoulder inside the left knee if you can. If you can keep palms together, that will give you a different type of a stretch. I have a hard time doing that with my wrists. And then we'll release the hands down, finding our warrior dog. So walk the hands to a 45-degree angle. From there, walk as far as you can, maybe a little bit more, until if you feel the weight shifting in your feet, then don't go any further, and then let the head come between the arms. Stick your tailbone up and out, and hold. Walk the hands back in. We'll transition toward the other leg, turning those toes out and sinking into your God of War pose. Coming up to balance if you can. Otherwise, you can take the hands down. If this bothers your knee at all, you can put the heel down. I find that the other way bothers my knee, so it's okay to do it either way. Let's have a strong flexed foot in the opposite leg. And then take the hands back down. We'll walk back to the top of the mat so you have that squat for a moment. Turning into a lunge. Step the left foot back to plank. Lower down through push-up. Inhale to press up to your back bend. And exhale, downward dog, and hold. Look up, bend the knees, walk or hop up to the hands. And let's roll up to stand. Nice posture here, chest up, hands back to heart center. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, halfway up, gazing up. Exhale, bend the knees, let the hands step back to plank. Lower through push-up. You're still exhaling. Inhale as you press up. Exhale, downward dog, and hold. Lift the right leg up. Let's bend the knee and open the hip for a 3-leg dog. And then if you want to flip your dog, feel free. That right foot will start to come down toward the floor as you rotate the left leg. Right arm reaches over you and you're really pressing the hips up. There are some variations where you can come into more of a feet planted bridge type of position. I happen to like the straight leg version better. And then we'll rotate back, so turning back onto the ball of the left foot, reaching that leg up, and then look up. Let's step it all the way through. Spin the back heel down. We'll rise up for warrior 2. Arms to a T. deep bend in the leg. So your heels should be relatively in the same horizontal line. Turn the front palm. Let's reverse warrior. Back through warrior 2, and we'll tap down into side angle. 2 to reverse, warrior 2 to side angle. Try to keep the leg bending so you're burning out those muscles a little bit, getting the lateral flexion, the side bending in the spine. Keep your breath moving. Hopefully my breath isn't too loud on this microphone, but I guess that's a good thing. You should, if you hear the breath, it will remind you to keep breathing. The next time you're in side angle, you're going to hold it and reaching over. So, option to take a bind here, hold it, but I'm just going to turn around so you can see what that bind means. Couple ways to bind. Maybe you just take the left arm and you take it around your back and you try to reach for your thigh crease. Maybe that's enough for you. Or maybe you take the right arm underneath the knee crease, and then maybe your fingertips find each other behind your back. Once you have that, you really want to rotate the chest up. So right now, my chest is down, right? I want to open and turn up. My arms are short, so it's hard for me to get all the way open. Strap behind you and hold on to that. Let's release and come up, straightening that front leg. Arms are out. Reach forward and coming down for a triangle. So right fingertips are down onto your shin, or maybe a block if you have one. Turn the chest up. Let's turn the top palm and reach the arm over by the ear, turning the chest up even more. And then come back up, bend into the front leg again. And we'll take our reverse warrior again, this time holding it. So stay there. I'm just going to come back to the original position here. So holding it this time. Really reaching long through the arm. As much as you're going back, still bend in the front leg. Feel that feeling of opposition. Your gaze can be down or up, whatever does not strain your neck. And then we'll come up, straighten the front leg again. Turn both feet in an outward direction, so your body is facing straight on. Let's take arms out, bend the elbows, and we'll bend the knees. So from here, just take a little movement in the hips, just to feel a little opening there. Maybe you sink a little deeper as you're doing that, and go up and down a little bit. And then let's really engage through the core. So pull your belly in. Tail is tucked a little bit under. And we're going to tip side to side. So lean. Your elbow's not coming down. It's your side body. It's your core. And lean the other way. We're going to do that a few times. Really spread through the fingers. Lots of energy there. Tip and tip. Breathe. Everything should be working really hard right now. One more, and center, straighten the legs. Arms back out to a T, rotate the feet, warrior 2. Windmill the hands down. Step back. We're going to step back, but keep the right leg up in the air if you can. Option there. Lower through, push up with the leg up if you can, and then switch into your back bend, lowering that foot down. And back to downward dog, hold. Couple deep breaths here. Really take that time as your moment to rest, dropping the shoulders, feeling the warmth in the body, the heart rate. And then we'll lift the left leg up into the air, bend the knee, and open the hip. Maybe you stay there, or maybe you start to flip, taking the left toes to the ground, right leg pivots and straightens, reach the left arm back. Maybe you drop your head or look towards your bicep. Breathe. And then look back down. We'll rotate back the way we came. Look up and we'll step the leg all the way through, or help it with your hand if you need to. Spin the back heel down. We'll rise up for warrior 2. Sinking into it. Now we're going to come into that flowing movement again. So turn the front palm, reverse to warrior 2, touching down to side angle. Keep the leg bending, working those muscles. We'll hold our side angle. And then maybe all you do is bind with the one arm. Or maybe you come down lower and try to get that elbow behind the knee. And if one palm is up, the other one is down so you can lock your fingertips. Then once you have that, rotate open, turn the chest up. Again, you can use a strap or a small towel, exercise band. We'll release, coming up to a straight leg. Triangle, reach forward, and take the left fingertips down lightly on the leg or block. Then we'll turn the palm of the top arm and reach over. My microphone is getting in the way of that one. And then engage through the core to come back up. Bend back into the front leg. Reverse warrior, holding it this time, so turning the front palm and leaning back while you with the leg. So really that feeling of opposition, moving in opposite direction. And then come up straight and turn both feet outward, coming back to your goddess arms. Sink down into the hips, getting a little movement there. Pull the belly in, and we'll come to those side crunches again. Tilt and tilt. Think of trying to get your elbow to touch the knee, but without lowering the elbow. We'll do one more set. And center, straighten, arms back out, pivot the feet back to warrior 2. We'll take it down, step back, but we'll try to keep the left leg up in the air, lower through, inhale up, and exhale, downward dog and hold. Let's drop to the knees. So you're in table, but we're going to rotate the fingertips out to the sides and then see if you can rotate them any more in towards yourself. So don't go inward, make sure you're starting outward and then get as far outward as you can. And then we're just going to make some little circles. The hips are moving, but it's really about stretching the wrists. So the further your butt goes back on these circles, the more you're going to feel it. Also, the further the hands are away from you. So if your hands are more close to your knees, you feel it less. And we'll go the other way with those circles. Back to center, turn the palms. Now, flip the palms up. We're just do one at a time. So let's flip the right palm up. So the top of your hand is resting down on the mat. Now, you see how my elbow wants to bend? Well, we want to straighten the arm as much as you can, and then lean your butt back like you're going towards a child's pose. So there is a purpose to opening our wrists a little bit for a little later in a peak pose I have in my head for you guys. We'll release and switch. Flip, the palm is facing up, push down through the top of the hand, try to straighten the arm, and then lean back. Sides are not equal, and this could be painful. If it's too much, take your hands closer to you again. And then we'll release, Come back to your downward dog. Let's look up, bend the knees, and we'll walk or hop outside the hands. So you're going to come into a prayer squat. So if that's too intense, stay up here on the thighs. Otherwise, come down into your prayer squat. And try not to slump here. Get really tall in your back. Use the elbows to open the knees out. Breathe. And then from here, start to straighten the legs, but not all the way. Slide the hands back and see if you can grab your ankles with your hands. So your pointer and your thumb around the back of the ankles, and just see where that takes you. And then maybe straighten a little bit more. Release and roll back up. Lift the chest up, turn the palms forward. Take hands back to heart center. We'll come back down into a squat again. From here, take the right hand down toward the ground and just reach the left arm up, opening out for a little twist. And then bring it down. We'll open the other arm out. And release it down. Start to straighten a little bit. Take the arms underneath you again and see if you can grab behind the ankles. This time, see if you can start to bend your elbows down and making a little shelf. So you see I'm connecting behind my knee to the top of my arm. And then release and roll up. So in all of our binding, a lot of our arm balancing, it's all about getting that arm underneath and around your legs. If you get used to that feeling of inside and underneath, you'll start to really get better and better at arm balances and binds. So from here, let's try something funny. See if you could do it. It really is just kind of a fun exercise. So coming down again, just like you were, bend, but we won't go into full prayer squat. We'll go right back to this position. So grabbing the wrist, get those elbows. So you're putting maybe now your hands come around the edges. You're putting your legs on like they're backpack straps. Think of it like that, okay? And then see if you could be really silly. Wrap the hands around the front this time. And maybe can you pick a foot up and another foot and just walk back and forth on your mat a few times. And maybe you're just holding squat right now and that's all you want to do today. And that's fine. I know it looks ridiculous, but it's fun and gets your heart rate up, but also, my foot was stuck, also gets you used to that feeling of binding and arm balancing. Release and roll back up. Woo! And it's a lot of work. All right. So from here, let all of that go. Shake your wrists out. Let's come to the top of the mat. We'll round that out with a salutation. Hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. Step back, plank, lower through push-up. Inhale up. Downward dog. Look up. Let's step the right foot outside the right hand for a lizard here. Even here, we're going to practice the same thing. So the right hand is going to slide back a little bit and come around the ankle. So maybe it's just your pointer and thumb behind the ankle if your shoulders are tighter or your hips. Or maybe your hand comes all the way around so it's more towards, so it's like this, more around the ankle, right? If you're really feeling strong and fancy, maybe both hands come around the ankle. Whew, a lot of work in the legs. And then drop the back knee. Take the hands inside the foot. Turn the right toes out and just sink into your lizard for the stretch now. So drop the hips. Any variation you want to do on this, you can reach for the foot or just a little twist or come down on the forearms or roll the foot open. Lots of choices. if you're twisted or you have your foot released at, and we will shimmy the foot over for your pigeon pose. So take that front foot, shimmy it all the way over to the other side of your mat, and then drop the knee down. If you're tighter, the foot will have to come in closer to you, but the goal is to try to get the foot out more forward, and then squaring the left hip down. If you're up really high, maybe put a blanket or a block under the right side of your butt. You can stay here, or maybe you start all the way. Let's walk the hands back in, lift the chest a little bit, tuck the back toes, and let's step back to down dog. Maybe stay in down dog, or come forward through a vinyasa, lowering through push-up, inhaling up, and exhaling downward dog. Stay there for a second. I just feel my microphone slipping, so I'm going to fix it. And then we'll look up and we'll step the left foot outside the left hand. So you end up here with the back knee up. And then eyes around. And if you're feeling like you want to try both hands, maybe that. And then we'll drop the back knee. Left hand comes inside the foot. Turn the toes out, the left toes. And just keep dropping the hips down. Let the back foot rest. And again, any variation, maybe you reach around for the foot or just holding this twist. Or come down lower on the arms. Releasing if you have any variations. We'll welcome back to the hands. And then heel toe that foot over. So you might need to just shift your hips back to get there. Heel toe it all the way over. And then drop the knee down. Again, try to get your left foot forward as best you can. Everybody's different. Right hip will turn down. Flat back, so don't slouch in the shoulders. And then maybe you start to come down lower. Couple deep breaths. And we'll walk it back in, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, step back to downward dog. If you want to pedal it out or anything you want to do is fine. If you want to take a vinyasa, come forward, lower through push-up, inhale up, and back to your downward dog. And then look up, bend the knees. Walk our hop outside the hands again. Now that same thing we've been doing, we're going to do it now for our firefly arm balance. So the hands slide back and around. Now you have to get your palms down to do this. You simply might just be too tight to do it. So if you have tight wrists, tight hips, tight shoulders, it might not be the best pose for you. So pick any of the squats we've been working on or any of the lunges and just do one of those. Or if you have a different arm balance that you like to practice. But for this pose, the palms have to come down. The shoulders go under the knees, right? So your palms have to go down. You can shimmy to one side, like shift your weight to one side to get your palm down, and then scoot that foot forward, and then shift the other way, and that palm comes down, and then both feet are scooted in. So this is the beginning of it. This is a pose in Ashtanga, actually. And then eventually you're trying to lift the feet up. Now, I'm going to do it, oh sorry if I hit the mic. I'm going to do it without my mat because my feet are sticking and it's stopping me from being able to get my knees underneath me as much as I want to. So if you're working on this, keep doing it. Keep going. If you come out of it, come back into it. So I'm going to try that again. So my hands come back. I'm going to go from side to side to shimmy my feet forward, right? Now from here, I'm going to try to let my butt go back a little bit and lift my feet off the ground. So you see my feet lift just for a tiny second. If you get that, the ultimate goal is that you start to straighten your legs out while you're up in the air. So we'll try it one more time, and again, everybody's going to be different. So just do what you can and play with it. Nobody just gets things on the first try. Well, maybe some people, but most people don't. All right? So let's try that one more time. I just want to fix this again. I got to get a better system with this not getting unclipped. Okay, so we take the hand to it, and then ultimately the goal is to try to extend the legs out into the air. It's a lot on the wrists. So let's shake the wrists out so you can plop down if you're still up. We'll shake it and then rotate the wrists. Rotate the other way. Flashing lights with the hands. And then we'll release. So I'm going to come back onto my mat, ending up in a standing forward bend, feet together. Let's get a grip somewhere on the legs, folding in. We're going to round that out one more time with a salutation. Inhale, hands to heart center, reaching up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back, lower down through chaturanga push-up. Inhale up, and exhale, downward dog, and hold. Let's come down to the knees. So inversion of your choice here. If you want to do a simple shoulder bridge, and you have a wall near you, go ahead and take that. Forearm balances, whatever inversion you want to work on. Today, I'm just going to work on a prep for your headstand, and that is it. But from here, we're going to come into a dolphin. So on the forearms, elbows under shoulders, interlace the hands, and tuck that bottom pinky in so you're not crushing it. We'll tuck the toes and lift the hips up. From here, keep your gaze so you're looking down, you're not tucking the chin, and then start to just walk the feet in. So this is your prep for your forearm balance. And when you've had enough, lower down. And then the prep for stand is exactly the same, except you're opening the palms a little bit and taking your head down. So the flat top part of your head should be down, not your forehead. If you come up like this and your neck hurts, you're not on the right spot. Push down into the forearms to take the weight out of the head. You should not have that much weight in your head, and then start to walk the feet in. This is your prep for your headstand. When you've had enough, drop the knees, take a child's pose. That's enough of an inversion. The point of inverting is getting that blood flow to the head, right? Which is great for you. It's great for energy, circulation, hair growth, headaches. But we also don't want to hurt our necks or shoulders. And there's no sense in rushing it or throwing the legs up, because you get all the benefits of inverting just from doing that, or from taking your legs up the wall. So staying at your level. Let's come down onto our backs. So extend the legs out in front of you. We'll lie down. Let's hug the knees in and roll around side to side. Circles maybe. We'll take a nice twist. So arms out to a T or cactus arms if you have not that much room. Let's drop the knees to the right and look over to your left shoulder. My long hair is getting in the way there. Good. The closer the knees are into you, the deeper the twist is. And then we'll bring it in. Side, look the opposite way. Again, knees in is deeper. Keep the shoulder blades grounded down. And then come back through center. Plant the feet down. Let's bring the right knee into the chest and straighten the leg up, reaching behind the thigh or maybe the calf or the ankle. But once you reach up, try to drop the shoulders down to the mat, flex the foot, and then maybe your other leg extends out. After a couple breaths, maybe you can pull the leg in a little closer to you. And then we'll release. Bend that knee and plant the foot. Bring the left leg in, hands behind the thighs, straighten up. Maybe you go up higher on the leg. But then once you do, drop the shoulders, flex the feet, and then maybe extend the other leg out. Notice what side might be tighter. After a few breaths, maybe you pull in a little bit more. Release, let's bend both knees in. We'll come to happy baby. So knees come in toward the shoulders and your feet go up toward the ceiling like you're doing a squat on the ceiling. Reach around for the pinky edges of the feet if you can. Otherwise, by the ankles and press the knees towards your shoulders and let your butt too. If you lift your butt, you're going to lose the hip stretch. So maybe if you feel like a little side movement. If you really want to go for straight legs, find some creative flow here. Let's take soles of the feet together and let the pinky edges of the feet come down onto the mat. Maybe shimmy the heels in even closer to you. Reach the arms back on the ground behind you, grabbing opposite elbows for your goddess here. Letting gravity open you in the hips and the shoulders. And then we'll release. Arms by your sides, legs extending out. For our Shavasana, our final relaxation pose. If you're not comfortable flat on your back, please feel free to mix it up. Lie on your belly, lie on your side, or even sit up for this if you want to. We're back to legs up the wall, any position that's comfortable. And just closing the eyes, and you're a sponge right now. You're just absorbing everything you did, your muscles, your mind. Maybe take a moment and just notice that inventory you took in the beginning. Has it changed? And just really feel like you're sinking down into the ground. Limbs are heavy. Face is relaxed. Are you crunching your eyebrows? Is your jaw tense? Let it all go. And stay here with me for a few moments of peace. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Maybe take your thumbs and just brush them across your fingertips to awaken your senses a bit. You can point the toes, circle the ankles. And however you want to make your way up to a seat, you can. Maybe you take a long stretch, or you roll onto your side, or you do a nice Pilates ab roll up, whatever you want to do to get up. Let's take hands to heart center. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. I hope you enjoyed this Yoga Flow class. Have a great one. Namaste.